I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham, Ha Rakah Kudash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone wall, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abba. So the Lord is going to leave 2/3 of the nation of Israel here in America behind, and they're going to be destroyed. All right. He prophesied this in Zechariah 13 verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, which Yahawashi is the one that unleashed Esau and gave him the power through Yahweh's power on the left-hand side. Through Yahawashi does Esau have the authority to take peace from the earth. Revelation 6 verse 1, it says, and I saw when the Lamb, Yahawashi, which he was our sacrifice, opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see, which is an angel. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, which is talking about the so-called white race. They're the red devil the Bible speaks of. And power was given to him through Yahawashi that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So he's a sword in the Lord's hand. And there was given unto him a great sword, nuclear destruction. Right? They have the nuclear weapon. And this devil is a sword in the Lord's hand. Let me go ahead and get Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the so-called white race, which is the red devil the Bible speaks of, is come down to you unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Which it tells you in Malachi that when this devil gets cornered, right, they say they're impoverished, they get the sword. It says in Malachi 1 verse 3, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, which he's going to be destroyed, and his kingdom is going to be destroyed, America, and made a desert. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, so the so-called white race, they'll say they're impoverished, which you hear Trump always doing that. That's that pride, that manipulation. But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Israel. Now the Israelites that are not magnifying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai with their lives, all right, they're going to be destroyed. It says in 2 Ezra 15, verse 4, for all the unfaithful Israelites shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, which is going to catch up to, it's going to be pretty much Jacob's trouble. And the great tribulation is going to get kicked off with that implantable microchip becoming mandatory for buying and selling. Now it says that there's a judgment that's going to come through. It says in 2 Ezra 16 verse 33 The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Because the Lord's going to bring, using Esau, these other nations onto America, and they're going to slaughter and use and abuse these people of America, and especially the unbelieving Israelite. It says in Zechariah 14 verse 2, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle," which Jerusalem is a people. It's the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world in slavery. It says to battle. So these other nations under the so-called white race, the red devil, you have these other nations, Confederate, and they're going to try to slaughter the Israelites. And the city shall be taken, but you're going to have martial law. And the houses rifled, but you're going to have these foreign troops going through the houses, right? And the women ravished. And half of the city shall go into captivity. So they're going to put you in FEMA camps. But as it said, they're going to ravish your goods. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. It says in verse 3, "Then shall Yahweh go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle," because they're touching his elect, because they're going to be persecuting his elect. It says in verse 12, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth," which is nuclear destruction. All right? And 2/3, the unbelieving, they're going to go down to Egypt for help. And the Edomites, the so-called Caucasians, the red devil the Bible speaks of, they're going to make it mandatory that you have an implantable microchip. So it says in Revelation 13, verse 11, "And I beheld another beast, America, coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb," which that's them having a republic and a democratic party, "and he spake as a dragon," but they're going to push draconian law, making it mandatory that everyone has an implantable microchip. "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast, which they're in the image of ancient Rome, before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed," which is America being reincarnation of Rome, all right? Which they have a senate, and that's what Rome had, a senate. "And he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men," which they have the technology. You see, one of Elon Musk's satellites got shot down, and those satellites are a weapon formed against the Israelite. "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he, the so-called white race, had power to do in the sight of the beast," starting with the elite of their race. They control the world using America and the beast system, which you know that America has the Allies, the European Union, which together they have NATO. All right. It says, "Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast." So they're going to bring forth this new world order. It says, "Which had the wound by a sword and did live," which they're, every time they build an empire, they build it in Rome, in the image of Rome. All right. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." So they're going to be putting forth draconian law that if you don't accept the implantable microchip, you would be facing a death sentence, which is prophesied that they're going to behead some of the prophets. Revelation 13, verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, the implantable microchip, in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? They got the charagma and the charax, which they're going to use a needle to cut out a piece of your flesh and implant a microchip if you allow them. And you're going to be destroyed with that implantable microchip. Revelation 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So only them that had that implantable microchip are going to be able to buy or sell. Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, which this is going to be a worldwide order from the so-called white race. And the other nations are going to follow the suit. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, Edom, the so-called white race, and his number is 666, which is 666, all right, which goes back to the Greek alphabet, Chi Xi Stigma, which is pertaining to that implantable microchip coming into existence, all right, and that's what's happening. They're bringing out that implantable microchip, and they're going to make it mandatory that you have it. And if you reject it, like the elect will, they're going to persecute us even unto death. So that's why we have to prepare ourselves as we wait for Yahawashi and possess our souls in this truth. It says in Revelation 14, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, the so-called white man and his system, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahawashi, which is poured out without mixture. No mercy will be shown. Into the cup of his indignation, to them that die in America, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, which comes out of the mouth of those missiles, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which Esau tells you that there's a so-called alien invasion, but in fact, those are angels that are with Yahawashi, which Yahawashi is going to come back and bring this judgment. All right? So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Ha-Rakakudash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abba.